אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב. Page 128, 128 in brackets, page 128. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's good to see so many smiling faces, smiling because there's so much joy to celebrate this weekend here at Temple Beth Tikvah Camp Edition. We have a wonderful bar mitzvah family, bar mitzvah boy tomorrow. We're so excited, Lucas, to celebrate with you. We have two adorable little boys who are getting their Hebrew names tonight, whom we're excited to invite up a little bit later, and for all of us, we're grateful to be here, to have breath in our lungs, to have a smile on our face, to enter Shabbat with a little bit of a sacred pause, a chance to unplug from the world for a moment. Of course, as I say that, I see the Zoom crowd plugging into the world for Shabbat, which is also good, a chance for you to unplug by plugging. Judaism loves contradictions. It's so good to see all of you who are here on Zoom as well. Our community is strong both in person and remotely. It would be a wonderful opportunity now, because I know there are so many guests here tonight and people who perhaps have or haven't joined our community before. If everybody wants to take the opportunity to greet somebody who they didn't come in with and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. And please come around this way so we avoid the cables. Lucas and his family are now coming up for the lighting of the candles, including his great-grandmother. Yes. Very special. Please. We're on page 120, if you'd like to follow along. Yeah, go ahead. Either one of them.
I'm going to read this.
Okay.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen. This light be the symbolic beginning of a weekend filled with brightness and warmth and joy and good times for you and your family and our whole TBT community.
He's so handsome.
Like seeing that smile. Don't lose that over the next 24 hours, okay? Okay. Thank you. Judaism teaches us that whenever we have joy in our hearts, the soul wants to express that joy in the language of song. And so that's why the musical heritage of Judaism is so rich, and we love to sing together. And so we invite you to sing with us. This first part of the service, called Kabbalat Shabbat, has a lot of joyful song in it. And you can always join in and sing Yai Lalai. If the words are a barrier, don't let them be. As we go through the Psalms of the Kabbalat Shabbat service, we invite you to raise your voices together with us. We're on page 131. Those are the bracketed page numbers at the bottom of your page. Well, who out there has ever had the experience of having a really good friend who you didn't get to see for a really long time? That probably is everybody in the past 2 years, right? And we all know what that feels like. It can make us feel sad, can make us feel sometimes a little lonely or disconnected. And even though technology gives us a chance to see people we love over screens, we all know that it's not quite the same as a real face-to-face contact. And that's exactly the spiritual technology that Judaism infused the Kabbalat Shabbat service with. Lecha Dodi, this ancient mystical poem, tells us of a story of best friends looking to reunite. Lecha Dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabala. We should come together, my beloved. We should go out and greet Shabbat. Greet Shabbat as an old friend coming back to see us after a long period of time far, far away. And so the feeling of being with somebody we so desperately have missed is right there for us to connect to in this spiritual poem, this beautiful poem called Lecha Dodi, which we hope you will sing with us. It's on page 138. Page 138 in the bracketed pages.
Lecha, lecha dodi, likrat, likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, lecha dodi, likrat, likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Let's try that together. Lecha Dodi,
likrat, likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hashem al tiferet v'litzila la 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 lecha lecha dodi likrat likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha lecha dodi likrat likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikerem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila la 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 la
Together.
lecha dodi likrat likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha lecha dodi likrat likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Verse 3.
מקדש מלך מלוכה ומצאים את אוהביך רב לך שבת בעמך בכור והוא יחמול עלייך לה 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 לך לך דודי לקראת לקראת כלה בני בני שבת נקבלה לך לך דודי לקראת לקראת כלה בני בני שבת נקבלה.
Verse 5. התעוררי.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, ומאורי שתדברי, כאור אדוני עלייך, לה 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 לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת כלה, בני בני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת כלה, בני בני שבת נקבלה.
Here's where we rise and face the entrance to welcome our friends, our beloved Shabbat.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה זולה, תוכן מונה ים סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לה 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 לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת כלה, בני בני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת כלה, בני בני שבת נקבלה.
All right. Well, who's feeling like Shabbat is finally here in our space and in our bodies? We're going to now pause in our service to welcome up Harrison and Hudson. And if you'd like to bring up your parents and your grandparents too, that would be good, because you're going to get each of you a special name on this evening. Please come around this way so you don't trip on the cables. I want you guys front and center, okay? Hi there. Hi, everybody. Do you all have one of these? I have one for each of you. Nobody's chopped liver. Okay. All right. Oh, it's so joyful to be here. That looks very tasty. He got his own egg early. I'm jealous. Oh, Cantor, would you pour wine in the cup? Thank you so much. What could be more joyous than welcoming children into the covenant of Israel, giving them their special Hebrew names? I'm excited to. It's okay to wiggle. It's okay to hide. It would be very nervous for me too to be up here. But don't worry, I'm not that scared. I know I look scary. I promise. I won't even look. It's okay. Together with the parents, the grandparents, together with our passing the baby, together with our TBT family, and in in the eyes of God and our people, we're happy to welcome these two boys into the community of Israel. Bruchim habayim b'shem Adonai. Blessed are they who come and enter into the covenant. Parents, that's you.
Today we bring our sons before the house of Israel so that we may bring them into the covenant which binds all Jews to God in accordance with the custom of our people.
We give them the gift of tradition, a heritage of strength and scholarship, of humor and quiet heroism, of love of Torah, and love of humanity. These children need never wonder who they are or where they belong. They are firmly anchored in love, and their lives are forever bound up with the life of His people. May we always help them to remember this.
We give them the gift of unconditional love. These children will always know that their family cherishes them and values them not only for their achievements, but because they are unique and beautiful human beings whose lives we are privileged to share.
We give them the gift of education. We want to share our love of learning with Harrison and Hudson and help them to appreciate the wonderful and fascinating world to which they have come. We also want them to learn of its cruelty and injustice so that they will take part in the great task of our people to restore a broken world to wholeness.
It's not all on you guys, I promise. But it looks like you could do a really good job of it.
We give them the gift of independence. Let our love and care for Harrison and Hudson always be healthy and positive, never stifling or possessive. May we try always to respect and appreciate their uniqueness and teach them to respect this in others.
And together you can say,
We give them the gift of a name.
And each of them has a special name. Harrison, your name is going to be Chaim Yosef ben Bracha Ora V'Jason. And Hudson, who, me? You get the name Reuven Ezra ben Bracha Ora V'Jason. Very special names. May your parents find much joy in you, much meaning in these names. And may your lives bring blessings to your families and your friends and to your entire people. And at this moment, Mallory, if you'd like to just say a word about the names
Sure.
that you've chosen.
So for
Do you want to come and
Harrison-
say to the microphone?
Sure. So Harrison's name is after my mother's grandfather who passed, and Hudson's name is in honor of my father's grandfather who passed. And that's right. And both of these men were great, wonderful people, both in their lives and both in their careers. So they definitely have a lot of respect from us in our family. It's someone that we've always looked up to. So I hope that these individuals will carry that same weight that, aside from this.
They're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job.
And to memorialize this moment forever, we have a special certificate for each of you so that you will always remember what your special Hebrew names are and that this milestone happened on this day, May 6th, or the 6th of ER in the Hebrew year of 5782. So that's one of the gifts we've got for you. And Mom, you want to read this one here?
Sure.
This blessing, special blessing. Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvasav v'tzivanu lecha niso b'rav tam shel Avraham v'Sara.
Good. And we can all read, Blessed are you, eternal God,
whose presence fills creation. You make us holy with your mitzvot and call us to bring our sons into the covenant of Abraham and Sarah.
And all together we can read, as they enter the covenant, so may they be led to the study of the Torah,
the creation of a Jewish family, and to a life abundant in all good deeds.
Okay, we have a very special family Kiddush cup that we will raise now in reciting this blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. You can have a sip. The kiddos, you can have something sweet if you want.
Do you want to taste? Okay. I'm going to drink it off.
Slow down there.
You want to give Hudson some? Hudson.
Hudson,
Aw.
I want to eat something else, Mama.
Nope.
This is definitely the cutest part of my job. Well, we can all participate in this blessing by offering the special Shehecheyanu. We praise you, God, who has given us life, sustained us, and allow us to see this joyful occasion. So we sing together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Shehecheyanu, v'kiyamanu, v'hidianu lazman hazeh. All right, now, if you guys want, we can wrap you in this special talit. If you guys wanna hold them,
Sure.
we can wrap them.
Come here. Ooh, we're not going to do that.
Hopefully not near the candles. You each wanna hold one of them, and we can wrap you both. Sure. Okay.
This is going to be funny.
It's going to be funny.
Let's see how long this lasts. All right.
Yevarech Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you safe.
Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
May God look to you with grace.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha. Megasim lecha shalom, shalom.
May God always look to you with the biggest gift you can get in Judaism called shalom and peace. And we can all say amen.
Amen.
And you did a really great job. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Yehelanu, 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 beautiful Israel. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, beautiful Israel. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, beautiful Israel. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, beautiful Israel. All right, Squirmies, you got new Hebrew names. Good job. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Let's give you these certificates.
Harrison.
These are
Thank
yours
you.
to keep. And don't forget to come pick this up at the end. I don't want you to forget. Okay. Are you going to take it with you?
Just in
Sure?
case.
Okay. All right.
All right. Ready?
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Mazel tov and welcome. Our service continues with the call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, which is on page 146. 146.
Please rise. Not the right chords. Yada
turn the page together to page 148, and we'll read together Ma'ariv Aravim in English. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, and to know. Lead me into the mystery. And together we read, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 152 for Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohim Emet. Nice job. The everyday challenge of being a Jewish person, the everyday gift of being a Jewish person, is to see ourselves not just in our own lives, not just as Americans, not just as residents of the shoreline of Connecticut or wherever we happen to live, but as part of a bigger story. And an important part of that story is seeing ourselves, says the Haggadah on Passover, seeing ourselves as though we personally came out of Egypt, as slaves who were freed, as people who knew oppression, and so no oppression, and therefore wish to limit oppression for others. That is the part of the Jewish story, one of the things in the Jewish story anyway, that makes us unique, that gives us purpose and importance. And so we remember that every time we sing our freedom song, Mi Chamocha, which we'll sing together on page 158.
Mi Chamocha, my Lim Adonai, Mi Chamocha, Kedar Batoresh, Nor Batehilot, Nor
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Praised are you, God, for redeeming your people Israel. We turn to page 162. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages, a covenant for all time. Just like our two young friends over there, Harrison and Hudson, entered the Jewish covenant just a moment ago, this special bond, this special agreement that we have as a people with God. Ways to elevate our lives, bring spirituality into our everyday practice, and a special gift that we give each other called Shabbat. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. As we sing together, V'shamru. I love the clapping and the singing. Keep that up. When our voices join together, they make a really joyful, beautiful, purrful noise. And we'll continue on page 164 with the Amidah. I invite everybody to please rise. In our congregation, we begin these blessings together, and then we have a moment of silent prayer as well. Page 164.
Adonai sifatai tifta ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Gula Livnei Bneihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshe Toshia Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia. Morbid hatah, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Zomech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayim emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha b'gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Meneman hatalachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
I invite you to direct your attention to the following page. In the middle of the page, on 171, is a beautiful poem by the medieval Spanish poet Yehuda Halevi. Ya ana emsacha, mekomcha na'aleh v'ne'elam. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you, but please draw near to me, because the moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. So often it can be very difficult to discern the presence of God within our lives. We don't always hear God's voice. We don't always feel God's presence. But sometimes the lesson is that if we go out looking for God with focus, attention, and an open heart, it is then that we feel God looking too for us. And so with those words, we engage in a moment of silent prayer and reflection. Between this page and page 180, feel free to take the time you need and have a seat when you're through with your prayer.
Shalom, shalom, bimrama, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Uyase shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, amen. Ose shalom.
I'm part of a Facebook group called Secret Jerusalem. Now, you didn't expect the rabbi to be talking about Facebook groups on Shabbat. And in this Facebook group, people from all walks of life share lots of different opinions, so many opinions, questions, details about things going on in Jerusalem. This one is not so happy, I'm sorry to say. I saw this message just before Shabbat. A woman named Ilana ben Shlomo says, "Bevakasha lihitpalel ala ben sheli, Shai ben Ilana, b'matzav kashe mehapigua hayom be'elad," which means, please pray for my son, Shai, son of Ilana, who's in a very difficult circumstance now after the terrorist incident in Elad, which some of us have heard of and are aware that there are a lot of people hurting in Israel right now in the wake of those attacks. And so at this time of Mi Sheberach prayers, where we ask for healing and wholeness, I'm holding in mind Shai ben Ilana and all of the families of those in harm's way or who were harmed in those attacks. Also thinking of our temple members for healing prayers this evening: Amy Agranoff, April Diamato, Norma Diamond, Ken Gammerman, Henry Geddenberg, Marjorie Hard Glossband, Marcia Jacoby, David Keller, Molly Keller, Josh Lipschitz, Sabrina Maurer, Lisa Mesrich, and Paul Oretsky. We also hold in mind our loved ones who are in need of healing: Marie Sammartino, Connie Ambrosino, Mickey Bart, Jay Fliss, Sue Yeres, Joanne Crisulo, Mark Ostreicher, Matthew Pincus, Bart Young, Marvin Goldberg, Barry Cooperberg, Paul Frissman, Elaine Gurman, Ben Peck, Martha Potter, Mark Potter, Carol Bartlett, Gloria Newell, Claire Newman, Joan Sidney, Michael Stafford, and Ira Weiss. If there are others who you're holding in your heart for healing prayers at this time and you'd like to make their name known to our congregation, you can feel free to do so as I pass through the rows. Or if you're on Zoom, you can add the name of your loved one to the chat at this time. For prayers of healing, anybody want to add a name of a loved one?
Bill Mershaw and Sal Sammartino.
And our friends on Zoom have added the following: Jennifer Butler, Jillian Evans, Gloria Cassell, Mark Cassell, Bill Pellerin, and Tara Sanders. As we pray that their health be restored and their strength revived, we join our voices in prayer on page 371 for Mi Sheberach.
Mi Sheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. Make us source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi Sheberach Imo
Well, as many of us know, this week our country was hit by this bombshell of a leaked Supreme Court opinion, a draft opinion, concerning Roe versus Wade. I had planned and prepared remarks to address that this evening. I don't think that this is actually the right time to address that in full as I'm planning to do. So I'm actually going to do something I very rarely do, which is I'm going to completely put aside the sermon that I wrote, but I want to let you know that I plan to speak about it. So for the grown-ups in this room who are interested in engaging in that conversation and hearing about that very important issue from a Jewish lens, I do plan to address the issue in Shabbat services 2 weeks from now, which is, I believe, May the 20th. May the 20th. So if you're interested in that topic, I invite you back to that particular service. And for all the rest of us, I'm going to tell a story. There once was a very, very important man. He was so important that he had the most beautiful suit and the most perfectly combed hair, slicked back just so. And he had the most elegant watch and the most beautiful Italian leather shoes from a famous designer. And it was just before Shabbat on this certain day that he boarded a train back home to Brisk from the town of Minsk, where he had been on a very, very, very important business trip, because he was a very, very, very important man. Much like the rows here tonight, it wasn't easy to find a seat very quickly. Much like if you're on, the Northeast Regional Amtrak train right before the weekend. So he was going throughout all of the cars here and there to the back of the train in front again to look for a seat. He couldn't find one, and so he sidled up to an older man, humbly dressed, wearing an old suit, seemed like it had seen better days, and he gently put his hand on the man's shoulder. And he said, and the man said, "Can I help you?" To which the very important, impressive man said, "Well, I think you can see that I'm a very important and impressive man. I'm just coming back from a business trip. I'm quite tired. I'll need your seat, please." To which the man responded, "You'd be much better." So the man got up. You don't actually have to do. Gave him a seat. He said, "All right." The man got up. The important man sat down, and for the remainder of the train ride, the little more shabbily dressed older man just stood reading his newspaper in silence. When they, of course, approached the train station, it was right before Shabbat. Everyone was in a rush, but even so, they could see that there was a huge crowd assembling right at the train station, just next to the tracks. So the very, very important man looked in the mirror, combed his hair, made sure his tie was nice and straight, and was ready to receive his well-wishers, because of course he thought, they must be here to see me, for I am a very, very, very important man. He found a suitcase and left the train, and when he got onto the platform, he saw that people weren't looking at him. In fact, they seemed to be turning inward and gathering around someone quite different. As he got even closer, he saw, of all people, that shabbily dressed man who just so easily gave up his seat. So he turned to somebody nearby and he said, Hey, what's going on? Who is that guy? Why are they gathering around this fellow in the shabby clothes? And the person said, "My friend, this is no fellow. This is no shabbily dressed man. This is the Brisker Rav. This is the greatest teacher of Talmud who has lived in several hundreds of years. All of these people are coming to welcome him and greet him before the Sabbath." So, of course, this very, very, very important man was beside himself. He didn't know what to do. He was so upset the way he had been ate. And so he ran as quickly as he could up to the man and said, "Excuse me, sir, I'm by the man who you thought I was before you knew who I was. And so in Judaism, every little act, every little motion, every little way we treat somebody else says a lot about how we value the Tselem Elohim inside of them, the spark of God, the fact that all of us are worthy of respect and love and fair treatment, regardless of whether we are an older man in shambles or a very, 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 very important. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. For all of you on Zoom, I promise to give you a repeat telling anytime you like. We'll now conclude our service with Aleinu L'Shabeach, which is on page 586.
Do you want to do the Omer after or before?
Oh, you want to do the Omer first? Sure.
Yeah.
So let's rise anyway, but we'll start on page 570, right?
Yes.
Page 570 as we count the Omer together.
We can all read together at the top. Hineni muchan umezuman lekayem mitzvot aseh shel sfirat ha'omer. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom echad v'esrim yom shehem shlosha shavuot la'omer. Today is the 21st day, which is 3 full weeks of the Omer.
Thank you very much, Cantor. It's hard to believe that we're almost halfway to Shavuot. Yeah. And now we'll turn to page 586 for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol L'Teit Gedula L'Yotzeh Bereshit Shelo Asanu Kegoyei HaRatzot Velo Tzamanu K'mishpachot HaAdama Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem V'gor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Va'anachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 591.
V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
We can all have a seat. Karen, there she is. Karen Goldberg is going to greet us on behalf of our temple leadership.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom. A warm welcome to all the guests and Mazel Tov. My name is Karen Goldberg, and I'm the Vice President on the Board of Directors at TBT. Tomorrow, join us on Zoom for Jewish meditation and meditation at 8 a.m., followed by Torah study at 9 a.m., which will be led by Ethan Horowitz. At 10 a.m., we will celebrate Lucas's becoming a bar mitzvah with a Shabbat service right here at Camp Laurelwood. This Sunday, religious school tikkun and confirmation will be held as normally scheduled. This coming Wednesday, the TBT annual meeting will be held at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Links will be in your inbox. Next Friday, join us on the green in front of the First Congregational Church in Madison at 6:30 for a special ADL Shabbat service with guest speaker Reverend Jack Miles Joseph. Jacob. Associate Regional Director, Connecticut Region of the ADL. On Saturday at 10 a.m., we celebrate Sophie Sharp becoming a bat mitzvah with a Shabbat service at the Scranton Library. Again, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Karen. I'd like to read this poem on page 595 by Chana Senesh. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. אורות אלה המבהיקים בחשכת הליל. הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך. There are stars up above. So far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. In our hour of memory, we think of the Sharp family. Rose Gleish, mother of Lizzie Sharp, who passed away a few weeks ago, still in the period of Shloshim. And the Yartzites from our congregation, those who passed away at this season but in years past, include Renee Levine, Louis Gordon, Melville Levy, and Barbara Johnston. There are others who we'd like to include in our prayers for Kaddish tonight. If you feel comfortable doing so, I invite you to rise and share the name of your loved one or add their name to the chat. Francis Feldbaum, my mother. We can stay standing. You can stay standing.
Phyllis Seligson and Amanda Pensac.
I invite us to rise together in solidarity as a community as we turn to these hallowed words on page 598, the Mourner's Kaddish. 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah be'alma divra chireutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomichon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'alam u'le'almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei t'kudesha brichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to descend bring peace and comfort to the hearts of all who grieve. Together we say, Amen. Aseh shalom b'imromav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. You can all have a seat. And in the Jewish heart, so frequently joy and sadness are intermingled. And at this point, we remember the joy as we invite Lucas and his family to come lead us in Kiddush. You can leave your book. You don't need that. Hey, little bro, how you doing? Here, come on over here, guys. You want to hold the cup?
Yeah.
It's the long one. Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kosho v'ahava ratzon hinilanu, zikaron le'maseh v'reishit, ki yom tefillah
Lemikra kodesh, zecher netziat mitzrayim,
kivanu b'charta v'ahavu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat koshecha v'ahava uvratzon yimchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai
deep breath.
Mekadesh
Shabbat lechaim. Just grape juice.
Evan, do you want to hold the challah? Yeah. There you go. Okay, ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
You guys
Go ahead, dig in.
Yeah.
Yes, that will be you soon too. Because thank you to the Rosenthals. Thank you so much, Emily and Caleb and Sarah, for helping set up. We have a beautiful oneg afterwards in honor of this special occasion. Wait, Evan, don't go anywhere yet. I have a question for you. Wise Evan, any words of wisdom for your older bro as he gets ready for his bar mitzvah tomorrow?
Don't mess up.
I thought it would be something like that. Thanks. That's pretty much exactly what I expected.
Yep. We'll conclude our service on page 644 with Im Tirtzu. Page 644.
Those are the words of Theodore Herzl, who said, if you will it, it is no dream. So go out and get it. Shabbat Shalom.